Hi there. My name is Lynnell Grimes, and I'm a yoga instructor and trainer at the JCA. And today we're going to start with alternate nostril breathing. The format of this class will be straight yoga, in the chair, behind the chair. If you want to sit in the chair the whole time, you can. The only thing you're going to need right now is a tissue, because we're going to start with alternate nostril breathing, and you might need to blow your nose after we get done with the alternate nostril breathing. So again, sitting up tall on the edge of our chair, feet are hip width apart, knees in line with our hips. I'm going to take my peace fingers on my right hand and I'm going to put them up between my eyebrows. My thumb and my pinky are going to be blocking my nostrils. So I'm first going to use my thumb and I'm going to block the nostril and I'm going to inhale through the left nostril. Block the left nostril and exhale out the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Block it and exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Block and exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Block and exhale left. Inhale through the left. Block and exhale right. Inhale through the right. Block and exhale left. Inhale through left. Block and exhale right. Inhale through right. Block and exhale left. Inhale left. Block and exhale right. And hands down on your thighs, close your eyes, and breathe deeply through both nostrils. Notice how you feel. And if you need to, take your tissue and blow your nose. Get everything cleared out of there if you need to. So that is a really great way to begin a yoga practice or end a yoga practice. Or anytime you need to focus on relaxing and connecting mind, body, spirit with breath, try the alternate nostril breathing. So let's start with our arms down to our side, and we're going to start with our shoulders today. So we're going to inhale, shoulder shrug up, and exhale down. And inhale, squeeze those shoulders up toward the ears, and exhale down. And just observe the shoulders as you do that. And maybe you feel some of the vertebra going back in alignment in your spine. Inhale up, and exhale down. Roll the shoulders up, squeeze back and down. Inhale, exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Turn the palms toward me and allow your ear to drop over toward the shoulder. Let the left hand push down into the earth and just focus on what's happening from the ear through the shoulder and the arm on the left side. Bring the head up. Allow gravity to pull it over toward the left side as you reach the right hand down. Take some deep cleansing breaths. And head is center. Placing our hands on our rib cage, have your middle fingers touching. When you inhale, your rib cage should expand, so your fingers should come away from each other. And as you exhale, push the air out and let the hands go back toward each other. So breathe into the ribs. You're really breathing down into the lower lobes of the lungs, and the ribs protect your lungs. So breathe deep. And push that air out. With our hands coming down, take your fingers and stretch them out toward the side. And feel the wrist stretch. Fingers come down and let the wrist stretch in. Fingers straight down, and again, press them out to the side. My fingers are splayed like a starfish. And just observe what you feel through the wrist. And down. We're going to do a couple stretches with our hands before we get started. And I have a success story to tell you about. I had a woman who I taught her this pose, which we're going to take our hand. We're going to grab the thumb, the joystick. You're going to gently pull your hand toward you and then toward the back of your hand. And feel that stretch in the inside of your thumb. If you have arthritis in your hands and in your thumb, this can really help stretch that area that we kind of ignore and really just don't know to stretch and release. So now, here's the hand, fingers are splayed. I'm gonna grab my thumb, I'm gonna gently pull it toward me, and then a little bit toward the back of the hand. And again, the edge of the pose for you, you feel it, but there's no pain. So just observe that part of the hand, the thumb, that is stretching. And let's take those hands out and do some circles around your thumbs now. And reverse. And touch the fingers to the thumbs. And hands to the heart. We're going to begin to warm up the body a little bit more, and we're going to do some footwork today too. Inhale up. Exhale, arms float down toward the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine, reaching up to the universe. Exhale, down to the heart. Again, inhale up. Exhale, arms float down. Inhaling. And exhale, push all the air out of your lungs. Going into our first twist, hand is on the left leg, the left hand is behind you on the chair. Inhale tall. As you begin to twist, turning the shoulders, feel the rib cage, the shoulders, and last your head. Get a little taller. Relax your fingers. Play the piano, make sure you're not pulling or tugging on your hands. And come back to center. Now let's take the left hand on the right leg, and the right hand is back touching the metal part of the chair. Lengthen your spine and slowly turn rib cage, shoulders, and the head. Play the piano again with your fingertips to relax the hands. And back to center. Taking the left arm up, reaching up. You can keep your hand here, extend a little further, and then come over and just feel rib lifting off the hip. Come back and bring that arm down. Now the right arm coming up. Reach and extend. Reach a little further, and slowly come over to the side. Keep the abdominals engaged. And coming back and down. Let's bring this knee up to our chest and begin to circle. A low ankle and reverse. And circle around the knee. And slow reverse circle around the knee. And now around your hip. You can use one hand or two. And reverse. Now, if you're able, bring this leg up on top of the quad. Sitting up tall, we're gonna hinge forward a little bit, and I want you to just wiggle your toes. Squeeze the toes and flex the toes. So we're gonna do a little reflexology with our feet here. Taking your fingers and have your hand on the first and second toe and just pull them back and forth. And then go to second and third toe and do the same thing. 3 and 4. 4 and 5. Now take the toes and pull them apart. Getting a little deeper stretch through those toes. Now take your thumbs and go between the bones of your toes toward the arch of your foot. Both thumbnails are just gently pressing between the toes on some of that soft connective tissue in there. And now let's take our fingers. So I'm going to take my right fingertip, my baby pinky, and I'm going to put it between my 4th and 5th toe. And see if you can get your fingers down to the base of your foot, through, and once it's there, begin to softly just do some little circles. And this is pretty intense, but it's really good for our feet to see what we can do with those toes. Keeping them flexible. If you wear shoes that are ill-fitting, sometimes your toes start curling, and we do get arthritis in our toes too. So release that. Now take your knuckles and start to just make a little circle in the arch of your foot. Taking those same knuckles, begin to knock on the heel. Going in a circle one direction and then circle the other direction. Go to the outer edge of that heel. And then last but not least, bring your hands up here and do a little snake bite. With your hands going in opposite direction, massaging right by the Achilles tendon. So let's take that leg out, those toes, and let's see if you can splay your toes apart now. Squeeze the toes and splay. Squeeze and splay. And now take the big toe and just push it down. And now the toes, I want you to squeeze and push them down into the earth, and then lift the toes up and push them down, and then push the toes down. So lifting that heel, just push those toes down. And let's change feet. Change legs. So first, starting with a nice ankle circle, warming up the joint in reverse. And circle around the knee, bracing with strong abdominals, and reverse. And now circle around the hip. And reverse. And if you're able, let's come on up here and let's work on our feet. So first, just kind of squeeze and pinch the toes a little bit. And now we're going to take those toes and we're going to pull them apart, first and second toe. We need to take good care of our feet. And in yoga, you become a little bit more aware of your feet because we're barefoot for the most part. Now pull the toes apart. If you want to look down in there, if you're brave, see if you got a little cootie down in there, a little fuzzy, a hitchhiker. And now let's take our thumbnails and gently press between the bones of the toes, down toward the arch. Feels pretty good. And now let's take that pinky, and get it between the toe. You gotta kind of wiggle it down in there. And if this doesn't work for you, maybe you could get some yoga toes. There's these little things that go between the toes. If your fingers are too big to fit in there, but just see what you can do. And then massage in a little circle around those toes, both directions. And one foot's gonna feel very different than the other, just like how Warrior One feels very different on one leg versus the other. And pulling that out. And the more you practice this, the easier it gets. So take the knuckles and just make a nice little circle in the arch of the foot. And now let's take those knuckles and just pound in a little circle around the heel. And reverse. And go to the outer edge of that foot and heel. And then hands come up by the ankle and do a little snake bite. One hand going one direction, one going the other direction. And let's bring it down. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale up. Reaching up. Exhale, hands come down. Let's take this foot now and splay the toes and squeeze the toes. And splay and squeeze and see if you get any space. And then push the toes down gently and then press the toes down. Lift the heel and press. And press. And press. And okay, let's take this knee out to the side. And come back. And take the other leg out to the side and back. So we're opening up these hips now, getting ready for a little more work. Open and close. Let's see if you can take this leg out by itself a couple times. You can hold on to the chair if you need to. And let's do this hip now. Out and in. Out and in. Out and in. So taking our legs wide, begin to lift one hip off the chair. And first just lift the hip and lift the hip. Now lift the hip, lean a little bit and see if you can lift this leg and hold. Come down, lift just the hip, lift just the hip, and now lift the leg, arms out, and lean a little bit to the side. And release. Inhale up. Exhale, arms come down. Clasp the back of the chair, and as you lift your heart, tongue in the roof of the mouth, just breathe into the chest, feel the chest expansion. And hands on your thighs, inhale tall. As you exhale, let the head come down, look down toward your feet, and go into a forward fold. Shake your head no and shake it yes, relax your neck. And arms sweep out, inhale, come all the way back up. Reaching up, and hands come to the heart. So let's come up to standing now. We're a little bit warmer than we were before. So we're going to start with a chair pose here. We're right, we know exactly where our chair is. It's really close to us, so if we need to sit in the chair, we can at any time. So hands on our thighs, inhale tall. Push your hips back and lift your toes. Draw the abdominals in. If your hands are staying here, you can press your hands down into those quads and feel the activation of your abdominals. And keep those toes lifted, forcing the weight into your heel and activating the muscles, the large muscles in our quads and our glutes. Now shift the weight into your toes, lift your heels up, balancing on those toes. See if you can drop a little more in the squat. Find a focal point, keep your neck long, make sure that you're not looking up or down. Your neck is neutral. Heels down and inhale, come up tall. Hands to the heart. Let's go behind our chair. So I'm going to move the chair away, and we're going to have our stance wide. The chair can be here in front of you at any time, but because I want you to be able to see what I'm going to do, I'm going to move it. So just for today, I'm going to take my right foot, turning it out, and my left toe turns in. I'm going to bend this knee. Notice how the knee stays on top of the ankle. We don't want the knee to go beyond the toe. That's really hard on the patella. So you always want to have nice alignment of knee on top of ankle. Think of joint stabilization. So if we square our hips and turn now to the side, here we are in Warrior One. Let's take our hands back behind our back today. Shoulders press away from the ears, and just observe the chest expansion. Take some deep breaths. Take the arms out. Now twist back to the front. Here we are right away in Warrior Two. If you want to go a little deeper, walk your front foot forward a little bit more. And now we have a new edge in the pose. Turning gaze beyond your fingertips. And just be the Warrior Two pose today. Just breathe and connect with your body. And turning the right palm up, the left hand comes down on your leg or it's on your chair. Inhaling up into Stargazer. Imagine you're gazing up beyond your fingertips, looking up to the beautiful North Star or planet. And arms come back. Take your back foot. Step in about 1 foot. Toes are still angling forward. Straighten the front leg for the triangle pose. So here we are. We're going to reach to the right, push your hip left, lengthen, lengthen. And as you hinge, allow your hand to land wherever it lands on your shin. You might be up here. You might be here. Your heart faces me. And feel the crown of the head lengthening from the tailbone, and observe what your body is feeling. You can look up, straight ahead, or down. And imagine someone's pulling on this top arm. Inhale, come up. Bend the knee again. And take the arm up for one more counter pose to that triangle. These are like an ah pose. It just feels good to stretch the other direction. And arms come out. Toes to the front. Hands to the hips. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hinge down into airplane pose and reach your arms back. Draw the belly in and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Navel pulling the spine, strong legs. Hands to the hips and inhale, come up tall. All right, now a little bend in the knees. Now take the left foot, turn it out. Excuse me. Right foot turns in. Bending that knee. Check your alignment of your knee. Keeping the knee on top of the ankle, and make sure that you're not turning your knee in, that it stays right on top of that baby toe, second toe. Arms out. Take this right arm and sweep it. Palms are in and hands come to the heart. Here we are in our Warrior Two. So as we turned and did that twist, notice what you feel in this hip. Warrior is getting the Warrior One gets a nice stretch through your hip. And notice the strength of your legs. So again, hands can stay at the heart, or if you choose, bringing the hands back. I think a lot of us are sitting a lot more. I'm doing a lot more reading. So sometimes I'm finding I'm in too much forward flexion. So I want to open this chest and stretch the chest and strengthen those back muscles a little bit more. And you can lift your heart a little bit if you choose, or Remember, the chair is always here anytime you need it. And arms come out and twisting back to the front. Warrior two, we're right here. Feel the pose of strength in Warrior two. Turning gaze beyond your fingers, splay those fingers apart and observe the space between all of your fingers, getting a nice stretch in the hands. Take a moment to observe your foundational feet. Observe the toes, the heels, the arches, and the outer edges of the feet. Now, straightening that front leg, take your back foot and maybe step in about 1/2 foot. Thumbs are up for the triangle. We keep our heart facing forward, and this is like a side bend. Reach to the left, and as you hinge, keep your heart facing forward, shoulders and hips are stacked. A lot of people are concerned about trying to touch the ground on this, and if you do, you end up twisting your spine. And there is not a twist here. It's an extension, there's a long length, and feel the abdominals. They're deeply working to hold this pose. So navel pulling to spine, and feel all those active muscles that are holding this pose. And imagine someone's pulling on this top arm. Inhale, pulling you up. Bend the knee, left arm goes up, right hand comes down, and breathe into the side body. And arms come out and down, and toes to the front, and let's step all the way in. So we're going to use our chair for a Warrior 3 pose today. So fingertips are on the chair, and you're gonna step back. Make sure that your hips are underneath, right above your ankles. And as you're right here, feet are a little closer together. Take one leg, lifting it. See if you can lift the opposite arm. Hand goes back, foot comes down. Lift the other leg. Engaging the core, and see if you can lift the opposite arm. Hand is back, and foot is back. Now just press your tailbone away from the crown of your head in our modified down dog. And with the knees bent, look to your chair and step up to the chair. So the next move we're going to do is going to be, we're going to have our right arm up and our left knee up. So this is the sunbird. You're going to bring the elbow to the knee, exhale. As you inhale, reach and extend. Fingertips on the chair. Exhale, elbow to knee, tiny ball, and inhale, extend. Exhale, tiny ball. Inhale, reach and extend. 2 more. Exhale, inhale. Last one. Exhale, inhale, and change arm and legs. So now we've got the right knee and the left arm. So exhale, elbow toward the knee, inhale, extend. Fingertips on the chair, strong left leg, and inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. One more each side. Exhale, inhale, and release. How did that feel? I don't know that I've ever done that one in my classes, so it's been a while for that pose. The sunbird. Let's take our legs out wide, turn your toes out, and we're gonna have our arms out. Inhale. As you exhale, bend the knees and elbows come in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbows squeezing to the back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. My knees are tracking right over my ankles, right over my toes. There's no pain in this pose, and you only go as deep as your body allows. Turn your toes just a little more to the front. They're still open. Arms come up. Inhale for sunflower breaths. Exhale, let the tailbone sink. And good, keeping a long neutral spine. Now you might be only coming down about here. Listen to your body. Listen to your hips. We can improve our flexibility with practice, but a lot of it's genetic. Inhale, exhale. So remember, in yoga, we take baby steps. The more we practice, the easier the poses become, and we can improve our flexibility. Last one. And coming up. Splay those fingers, feel the energy flowing through the crown of your head, out the fingertips and down through your feet and your tailbone. Inhale, exhale, arms come down. Turn your toes to the front, step in, and just do easy rotation here. Just let the spine relax. Release any tension or stress you're holding in your spine or your arms. And coming back with our feet close together, we're going to have a hand on the chair. So we're going to take our left leg, lifting it up, and we're going to extend it out. So on this one, we're now going to take the leg back, and you're going to have the same arm reaching with the same leg. Square your hips. If you've lifted your hip up, try to square the hips, and just think about a nice diagonal line from the fingertips to the back heel. And just have 1 or 2 fingers on this chair here, and just feel the extension, feel the strength in the back of your body and the strength of the right leg. And coming up tall, the arm is up. Lift this knee and grab this knee. So feel that nice stretch in your glute. Now you can keep 1 finger here, or for balance challenge today, can you grab the leg with both hands? And release. How did you do? So, hey, back in the day, remember when you were 5 years old and you'd be tying your shoes like this? Say, wait for me. Maybe not anymore, but we can still practice. So I've moved the chair to the other side now, and we're going to take this leg here, we're going to lift it up and extend it out. And I'm going to have my arm up, and then I'm going to hinge back. And I'm not going too far. I'm on a diagonal line. Strong left leg. Square your hips. Make sure you've not lifted up that hip, so keep the pelvis neutral. And notice what you feel holding this pose. Make sure the shoulder's relaxed here, so just have your fingers on the chair wherever you need them. Breathe and extend. And slowly coming up, bring the knee up, grab that knee. You have a strong left leg. There's just a little micro bend in the knee. Make sure you're never locking out the knee. Maybe have 1 finger here. Maybe tap the chair or grab the knee with both hands. And release. All right, nice job. That's a good one to practice. So now we're going back to our chair, and we're going to go right into a side lunge. So come to the top corner of your chair and have your right leg back and your left knee is in the front. left leg. Now right here, contract your muscles, squeeze, 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 and relax. And this is a great way to practice strengthening everything around the hip, the glute, and this quad. And relax. And one more time, squeeze and release. So this is preparing us for, maybe you can take your hands and you can lift up off that chair and you can hold this position. Hands can stay here on the chair if you need it. Just feel what's happening as we hold the pose. Everything gets stronger around the joints in the body. And release down. That's pretty intense, huh? Let's go to the other side and try the other side, see how you do. So it's very important that you're on the edge of the chair so this glute is off so we have good range of motion through our pelvis. And right here, just squeeze, contract all the muscles in your legs. Imagine you were lifting off the chair. And release. So if it's hard to lift off the chair, this is your base pose. This is our progression. Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. And again, contract. And release. Now, hand can be on the back of the chair here or maybe in the front. I just have my hand on the back and I'm just gonna lift up a little bit. My fingers are still there. And then if I can, I'm gonna release the chair. And this is a pretty deep lunge. Deeper than you normally would have done if you were standing. And have a seat. Woo! That was pretty intense. So instead of using it as a stretch, we used it as a strengthener exercise. Let's bring the leg up on top of our quad. This is the pigeon, ankle flexion. Clasping your hands and grab that knee, bringing it up. Lengthen spine, shoulders press away from ears. And add a gentle twist. Notice how good your hip feels in this pose. And release. Changing legs. Bringing the leg up on top of the quad. Ankle flexion. Hold the flexion, clasp your hands. Bring the knee up. Shoulders press away from ears. Spine is long. And add a gentle rotation. And coming back. And legs go down. Let's take those legs out. And we're going to take one arm up and we're going to reach up and over. And come down. And take the arm and sweep it across and look at your fingers as they touch your shoulder. And reach the arm back out to the side and hand on your thigh. Inhale, bring this arm up and over. Keep both sit bones on the base of your chair. Just breathe into the side body. Keep the left shoulder relaxed. And arm comes out. Look at your fingers. Watch the fingers as they come over and touch your shoulder. Arm goes back out to the side and hand on your thigh. And let's bring those feet all the way in. Eagle pose, crossing the left leg over the right. Arms come up, inhale. Exhale, bringing the right elbow under left and then slowly fold over your legs. And coming up. Uncross. Uncross. Crossing now, right leg over left. If you can't cross it at the knees, cross at the ankle and squeeze inner thighs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bringing the left elbow under right. Elbows come down. Think of pulling everything toward the midline of your body. And then slowly fold over the legs, elbows coming down toward the legs. Imagine that your wrists, your elbows, knees and ankles, everything is in alignment with your spine. So we're just squeezing to the midline to detoxify and massage our lymph nodes in our body. Inhaling up, uncross, uncross, and arms come down. Hands on your thighs, close your eyes, take a couple breaths. And as you take those deep breaths, scan your body. Feel the balance you've created in your body. Notice that your fingertips and your toes and your feet are happy. Remember to take good care of your hands and your feet. If your feet hurt during the day, maybe it's time for new shoes. And hands to the heart, thumbs push into the sternum. Taking a moment for gratitude. Think about 5 people in your life that you are grateful for. And as you have one breath for each person, observe your heart. And I don't know about you, but my list of people I'm grateful for changes every day when I practice, depending on what's going on in my life, what memories are coming up for me throughout the day. So the last pose I'd like to do is what I refer to as the compass, which is taking your spine 6 directions. We are as young as our spine is flexible. So imagine you're taking your heart north, south, east, and west. So hands can come back behind the chair. Gently lift the heart north in a back bend. You can do this in your chair. You can do this standing up. Whatever feels good for you throughout your day, lift the heart north. Now dropping the heart south, you can clasp your hands. You can tuck the chin and you can make a C curve in your spine, reaching those arms forward. But the heart is facing down toward the floor. And feel what's happening through your spine. You can take it further. You can reach your hands down to the floor. You could do a complete forward fold, letting your heart drop south. And then we're going to take our heart east and west. So sitting in a chair, let's bring our hands here today, and we're just going to twist over toward the east. Make sure the spine is long and your shoulders are pressing away from ears. And just turn your head, feel that nice rotation. Back to center and twist to the west. And the last one is reaching the arm up for the North Pole. Hand can be on the side of the chair and feel that extension. Feel the side body getting happy. And change sides. So if you've been sitting too long in your chair, if you're binge watching something, get up, get to the chair in the kitchen where you don't have arms on your chair, and remember the compass. Move your spine in the 6 directions it can go, and just feel the flow of the energy, the chi along your spine. Picture your spine with all the energy flowing, without any blockage. I hope you have a wonderful, fabulous day and night. Remember to drink lots of water after our practice, and leave a comment if you liked the practice today. Give yourself permission to practice this chair yoga practice every day. It helps with anxiety, stress, tension, and depression. Namaste.